it's Disney Dave coming at you once again from Down Under with another book review. Today we are taking a look at the newly released book from Didier Guez. This is, of course, the third installment of his They Drew As They Please series. This is the hidden art of Disney's late golden age, the 1940s Part 2. Didier has previously released 2 volumes of this series. Last year's The Hidden Art of Disney's Musical Years, and the previous year's The Hidden Art of Disney's Golden Age. These books are absolutely spectacular. They are some of my favorite, if not my favorite books ever published on Disney art history. Didier is a really lovely guy. I've spoken to him on the channel 2 times already so far. I spoke to him most recently to discuss the release of this book. So if you'd like to check out that interview with Didier once you finish watching this video, then at the end I'm going to put a little hyperlink to Didier's interview there. And it'll give you a little bit more insight onto this book than I'll go into on this video right here. Didier's idea behind this book series, if you're sort of unaware of it, is to try and unearth a whole bunch of hidden artwork that's never ever been published. He not only pulls it from the Disney archives, but from private family collections and private collectors, and just anywhere he can really get his hands on all of this uncovered artwork, hidden artwork that hadn't been seen by human eyes for 70 years. Now, I've actually seen this book previously to actually getting my hand on a hard copy of it. I was provided with a PDF copy of the book for review purposes before I did my interview with Didier, and let me say, it's absolutely spectacular. So I'm very excited to give you guys out there a very first look at this newly released book. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. And here is this wonderful book right here. They Drew As They Pleased, Volume 3, The Hidden Art of Disney's Late Golden Age, the 1940s Part 2 by Didier Guez. So to rip this open, the first thing that you notice is this book comes shrink wrapped, which is really nice. It's always good to receive a book, especially like this, which has some sort of protection on it. So of course, the first thing we're going to do is rip it out of this shrink and then take a very quick look at this gorgeous volume. Okay, so there it is out of the shrink wrap, and we can appreciate the cover of this even more. There's some gorgeous artwork from Fantasia on the cover here. Some of my favorite artwork in this volume is that from Fantasia, and we'll see more of that soon. Now, before I open the book up, again, I have to say this at the beginning of every one of my book reviews, for those who aren't familiar with my book reviews, is that I'm not going to take you through this book page by page. I'm going to take you through very quickly, a quick skim through, give you an idea of some of the highlights, and just sort of what to expect from this volume. I don't like to show the entire book because I feel like it takes away the entire magic of you getting your hands on it, sitting down and just flicking through it at your own pace and just absorbing everything. And there's just so much magic that comes from experiencing a full book firsthand, especially something like this. So we'll take you through, we'll have a quick look, and I'll give you a good idea of the volume and whether you want to go out and purchase it. First off, we'll take the dust jacket off because I don't like looking through a book with the dust jacket on. Gets in the way. Once again, we'll zoom back in on this. Look at this, how beautiful is this? Attention to detail. I like publishers of these books, the author Didier Guez just knows that people are going to take that dust cover off, and when they do, they want to be greeted with something really beautiful. So there's some nice little character designs on here that are actually featured throughout the book. So that's a really nice way to sort of start your experience of this book. Let's zoom back out again. So let us open up and take a very quick peek into They Drew As They Pleased, Volume 3. Of course, we've got some beautiful artwork from the very beginning. I love these Tinkerbell little character models here. Now this book, just like the previous volumes, are sort of split up into sections. They focus on what Didier believes to be the most important or most influential artists from the period that he's covering in each of the volumes. Of course, you get a little bit of an introduction, get a foreword by Disney animator Andreas Deja. And then we get on to the animators. We have Eduardo Solofranco, Johnny Walbridge, Jack Miller, Campbell Grant, James Badrero, and of course, Martin Provenson. And now each one of these featured in here is some gorgeous artwork. So we're going to flick through. As I said, these Tinkerbell model sheets are just fantastic. I love them so much. One of my highlights of the book. And of course, like I said, little introduction at the beginning here, which gives you an idea of sort of what was going on at the studio at the time. Now, Didier's main focus in this volume is the Disney character model department, which is sort of previously sort of not so well documented section from the Disney animation studios back in the 1940s. There's some really beautiful work, and it was sort of a short-lived sort of department in the studio that, as I said, hasn't been really well documented, and Didier has done a really beautiful job at documenting this and the people that were so instrumental in it. Now, Eduardo Solafranco was one that Didier didn't really know too much about this guy, and he had to go out and research who this guy was and what he was doing working at the studio. And in his section here, let's flick forward a little bit. He was working on a project at the studio called Don Quixote Lives Again, and this was sort of a proposed idea to do a film on the life of Don Quixote, and some of the artwork that came out of this was just absolutely beautiful. It was just something that never wound up, eventuating. It wasn't a film that was ever made, one of those sort of lost Disney things. But Didier found all this beautiful work by this guy, Eduardo Solafranco, and then did some beautiful, beautiful research into the artist as well. Now, as we go forward, we get all the other artists in here who are more well-known, and their work is sort of more well-known as well. We get some great pieces from more well-known Disney animations. These are some of my favorite pieces in the book. These are sort of character designs for Alice in Wonderland. And I think this is fascinating because you don't often see designs for Alice in Wonderland that aren't the Mary Blair designs, because she's so iconic. And when you think of designs from Alice in Wonderland, you think of Mary Blair, but then you realize that there were other artists working on this movie as well, and their stuff is just as fascinating. So I think some of this is gorgeous. Again, we're going to flick through this really quickly. Some Fantasia stuff in here. Now, Didier doesn't just focus on the artwork. He focuses on the people, and he does these beautiful write-ups on the people. Like a little biography, and tells you about their life. It's sort of a really quick snippet of their life, but it's really in-depth, and it talks about their time at the studio and sort of their influences on animation and everything. I think it's just fantastic. So as we're flicking through, we're on to sort of Jack Miller stuff here, and as I said, most of the stuff in this is from well-known projects, but there's some nice just sort of little snippets in here, things that you go, wow, I've never ever seen that before. And that's the idea behind Didier's books. It's to get out these hidden artworks, things that have been hidden from human sight for up to 70 years, and I think he has done a spectacular job of finding stuff that we've never seen, and I think it's beautiful. That's what I love about these books so much. Another highlight of this book is some of Campbell Grant's work from the Night on Bald Mountain sequence from Fantasia. This is just beautiful. It just jumps right at you. This is some of the greatest artwork that's in this book, and that was ever produced for the Disney Studios. Speaking of Fantasia, we have James Badrero's work on the Pastoral Symphony. Now, this really is the highlight of the book. I don't want to show too much of it because I don't want to spoil it, but I do have to show a little bit of it because it's just stunning. It's stunning stuff. And here it is. I mean, look at this stuff. It's stuff that you don't often see. I mean, Fantasia has been covered almost to death in Disney history books, and so much artwork has been seen, but not gorgeous stuff like this. How often do you see character designs and concept artwork for the Pastoral Symphony sequence? I mean, that's just something you don't ever see, and I think this is so beautiful. Didier has promised in Volume 4 there is going to be more concept artwork from Fantasia, which I'm really looking forward to. But this book is just filled with stunning pieces and amazing artwork, incredible research, great snippets on these artists. And really, this book right here is my favorite of the series, which of course, once again, includes Volume 2, The Hidden Art of Disney's Musical Years, the 1940s, Part 1, and of course, Volume 1, The Hidden Art of Disney's Golden Age, the 1930s. Each one of these 3 volumes offers something new, something different, and something gorgeous. But this new volume right here has just completely blown it out of the park. The volume is 25% larger than the other 2 volumes as well. There's quite a number of more pages in this, so it's a tiny little bit more expensive, but you really do get value for money out of every single one of these volumes. And if you're interested in this portion, this period of the Disney studio, then this book is a must-have. As I said, Didier has 6 books planned for this series. This is just Volume 3. I'm so excited to see where this goes in the future. But yes, definitely recommend this book. And once again, that was Didier Guez's They Drew As They Please series, The Hidden Art of Disney's Late Golden Age, the 1940s, Part 2. Very good book. I could not recommend this series of books more highly. Like I said, they are my favorite Disney history books ever published, favorite series of Disney history books ever published. I'm so excited to collect the rest of the series. We have learned since my interview with Didier that the series may be in jeopardy a little bit, and it all sort of depends on how well the sales for this book go. So please, if you are big into Disney history, Disney artwork, Disney history books, whatever, please, I implore you to go out and purchase a copy of Didier's book. It's really, really well priced. I got mine from Book Depository for $40 Australian. Head to Book Depository. I'm going to put a little link down the bottom where you can click through and go ahead and purchase a copy of this book. So please, 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 there's only 3 more books to go. Go ahead and purchase that book, or even the second book, or the first book, or all 3, or just one of them. It is absolutely spectacular, and it'll be such a shame. I'll be so upset if Didier's book series doesn't get to continue because the book doesn't sell as well as the publishers were hoping. Once again, if you would like to check out my interview with Didier Guez that I did recently, there'll be a little link to that at the end of this video, a little hyperlink. I'll also hyperlink the previous interview that I did with Didier where we discussed the 2nd volume in his series at length as well. Another really, really great interview with Didier, some great insights, great stories, anecdotes, all that kind of stuff. Also at the end, there'll be a little hyperlink to my review for the 2nd book as well that I did last year. So, at that, guys, if you are a first-time viewer of my channel and you've liked what you've seen with today's video and you'd like to see some more, then please, after the jump, hit subscribe and give me some support. To all my regular viewers out there, thank you once again for joining me, and to absolutely everybody, I hope I'll see you again soon. Until next time though, guys, take care, and I hope you have a magical day.